Hi everybody, my name is Random Design and this is the second part of my video series on how I built the Krait case mod. Because I wanted to build the base of my case mod out of paper, I needed to transfer my 3D model into a paper template. Therefore I used the program Papercura. So first open your 3D project in Papercura. You can leave everything as it is, just press OK, no flip and finish. And then you got your 3D model in a paper one. Now to get your final paper template, you have to click the unfold button, and to fit the measurements of your 3D model you have to play around with the scale factor. I tried 10.5 and then hit OK, and as you can see, Papercura unfolded the whole model on the right hand side on paper sheets. Now to check if my measurements are right, I used a tool inside Papercura called Measure Distance Between 2 Points. And the distance is 709.86, and I measured the same distance in my 3D model, as you can see, so everything is fine. The automatic unfold of Papercura is sometimes not very good. As you can see, there are many white sheets of paper on the right side, so I manually subdivided the template even more to fit it on every sheet. And in the end my template looks like this, and I just need to save the file and print it all out. I printed everything on 250 gram paper because it is more stable than the normal 80 gram paper which you use for your copy machine. After everything was printed, I cut out every single piece, and this was maybe one of the most time-consuming steps in the whole project. And as you can see here, I redraw the folding lines which Papercura give me. To fold to the inside I used the black pen, and to fold to the outside I used the blue one, just to separate it better. And then after 6 or 7 hours of cutting, my whole desk looked like this. For gluing I used all-purpose glue. I wouldn't recommend to use a glue stick because it is not powerful enough to hold such thick paper together. A hot glue gun can easily mess up your work because the glue is too thick between the two layers of paper. And this is how it looked like when everything was glued together. And I already made a test fitting of the hardware to be sure that everything will fit inside. To straighten up the paper, I coated everything with a layer of fiberglass resin, and I would highly recommend to wear a respirator during this work because the fumes are very toxic. To hold the paper in place during this process, I just put some wooden spacers in between. Then I gave the resin time to dry overnight. Now the paper got really rigid and I could start applying multiple layers of fiberglass from the inside. It is important to apply it from the inside because you don't want to lose any of the structural details from the outside. And I coated everything with a mixture of fiberglass resin and a hardener. It is also essential to wear a respirator during this work too. After everything was done, I also gave the fiberglass time to dry overnight. To smooth out the surface and get rid of some rough spots, I applied body filler from the outside. After the first layer of body filler was set, I sanded down the rough spots and applied body filler and sanded down again. I repeated the whole process until I was happy with the result. To achieve a Krait-like look, I cut out pieces of rubber foam and glued them directly onto the surface of the mod. The disadvantage of rubber foam is that later on the paint won't stick to it very well. Now to fix this issue, I applied one single layer of Warbler. It's a technique often used in costume design. And Warbler is a thermoplastic material which becomes highly flexible after heating up. The warm Warbler tightly covers the base, so details won't get lost. The excess of Warbler was simply removed by cutting. And as you can see, I drew the detail lines with the back of a spoon by following the snake scale pattern of the rubber foam underneath. Because of its rough surface, I had to prime the Warbler before painting with several layers of PVA glue. After everything dried, I started painting the whole mod with multiple layers of black spray paint. I attached eyes made out of acrylic glass. Then I added white detail lines and covered the entire mod with glossy clear coat to protect the paint and achieve a more snaky look. That is how I built the outside of my Krait case mod, and in the next part I will show you how I exactly built the inside. So see you then, bye bye.